This guy is breaking down Elon Musk. It's not like we didn't know what Elon Musk was all about, but for some reason now, Black America is starting to wake up to Elon Musk after how much corruption has happened. So, um, the feeling is that he had major reasons why Trump won and tampering with the elections in 2024. But I want to, let's see if I can put this up here. I'm not feeling good.
I remember when he first started gaining prominence. He seemed cool to me at the time, man. He reminded me of like Tony Stark. He was talking about going to space, building all this crazy stuff. This is also around the time when Tesla's like first came out, they was popping. But as the years went on, man, he just started doing a lot of funny, weird, racist shit. Now, last year was probably the icing on the cake, though. The man literally did a whole salute on stage.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Like, bruh, not even hiding it, though. But anyways, man, as we know, a couple years ago, he acquired Twitter. He tried to change it to X. Nobody calls it X. It will always be Twitter. Now, with him doing this, bro, anytime he tweets, it's pretty much pushed up to everyone's eyes, okay? And look, you'll see tweets like this all the time, bro. Elon Musk doesn't even pretend not to be racist anymore. Like, he literally do not. So this is his account right here, man. Over 230 million followers. And let me show you the type of tweets he'll make. He reposted a tweet of someone saying the white population in Western countries over the last 50 years. And as you can see, it's just showing that the white race is dying. So he's on the same time.
Does he have 230 million followers, or is because he's the owner of X, Twitter, is it because he's the owner that he, like how they did Facebook, where you had to be friends with such and such that owned Facebook, that's how he got all the followers? Come on now. 230 million followers? I think not.
There's people like Nick Fuentes and all these other far-right type of people. Now, here's what he really loves to do. As y'all can see, Elon Musk reposted. Anytime a black person does a crime, Elon Musk is going to retweet it. And every single time. Here we go. Another one, y'all. A black man committed a crime. Elon Musk, quote, retweeted it and got over 200,000 likes. Now, I will be cool with him retweeting these, stories about black people doing things, but he will never, and I mean never, retweet anything negative for white people. Now, shout out to this page right here, man. I expose races and you know what's, man. He be going hard on the boys. And let's just go through some of the stories that you will not see Elon Musk retweet. Right here, we got a white, you know what? He did something to two girls, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we got a racist, goddamn stealing from the store, usual suspect activity. Right here, we got a teen, he did you know what to his parents. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff. We had a 77-year-old, he did a shooting, wounded three people. Right here, we got a Florida man, he did you know what to his wife because of an NFL game. Oh my goodness. Pretty much killed everybody in the family. Like, this is wild. This one right here is crazy. 3 18-year-old predators, they did you. Man, look at them, bro. Like, look at these stories. This is crazy. This should happen every other hour with these folks. And this video would be hours long if I showed y'all everything on this page, bro. Because, yeah. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is that Elon Musk knows what he's doing. He has a huge platform and he only retweets the bad things that black people do. This is a form of dehumanization. Like I said, if anything ever breaks out and people want to harm black folks, they can use it as a clutch as, they're violent. I seen them do all these types of crazy things. This is why black fatigue videos are so popular on YouTube, man. There is never a counter argument for it. And the minute I started making white fatigue videos, a lot of the white folks.
So he made a very valid point, because people are going off of, what mainstream media, social media, and all those have done in the past. When you control media and you have an agenda, you're going to highlight the things that align with your agenda, right? That's what the social media, mainstream media does. So if the agenda was to do exactly what this government is doing right now, you would align everything to look like only a certain group or demographic of people are committing the crimes. And you would highlight that and highlight that and highlight that and just show that, and never show the other demographics. Because I would venture to say that crimes, the crime rate is pretty equal concerning black and white Americans, and prison statistics and all that. I would say it's pretty even, but you're not going to hear that because agenda is to criminalize or to villainize Black Americans, period. And so you're not going to see the truth. And he, right now, just showed you a lot of examples of white crime, white on white crime, right? This is my thing, because he's going to get into Elon Musk's father and his racist comments and things like that. And I get it, right? I personally don't adhere to a racial, I don't adhere to anything racially because well, for one, my genetics has a mixture of different things, and African is one of them. West African and Sub-Saharan, as well as European, Irish, French, Iberian, all that shit. Okay. So, I do identify as being a female or a woman, period. That's my only identification. I adhere to that. Because after generations of racial mixing and going in one direction into another direction, you don't know what God has purpose for you in what body he's going to place you in, period, when you reincarnate, if you reincarnate. You're not going to know. So to have a racial agenda or a racial connotation, you might be very surprised in the next life that if you are a white racist that you become a black person or vice versa. So to racially identify to me it's retarded, and I will stand by the fact that white as a race does not exist. It just doesn't. You may have European lineage, you may have a certain type of lineage, but as what white concerns, white is not a race. that is some shit made up in America. It doesn't exist. Racially, it doesn't exist. Culturally, it doesn't exist. White is a state of mind, period. Now, those so-called white people saying they have cultural background from like Sweden or something like that, yeah, I can adhere to that. I can adhere to they may have that, or German, or whatever the case may be. However, white as a race doesn't exist. Let me let him play this.
Got all crybaby and sissy. Oh, why you generalizing? Why you doing this and that? But when y'all did it to us, it's okay. Nah, fuck that. And like I said, Elon Musk, man, I always found him cool, before he started doing all this racist shit. And this type of stuff is just what slowly radicalized me, man. And this is why I created these channels, as a safe space for black people. But listen, I want to get back onto Elon Musk because he's like this for a reason. His dad is a racist.
The big concern at the moment, and why I think South Africa is a big talking point in the US right now, is America in the next 20 years will become, for the first time in its history, a minority white country.
Well, that will be a very, very bad thing to happen. You want to see the US go down? Why? Oh, you don't like cars and electric cars, and you don't like technology, or what is it? You want to go back?
This is a trippy thing about men like him, these white racist men, is they act as if that white men are the only ones that ever created any kind of scientific shit, or that they're the only ones that created anything, right? That they think they're the only ones throughout history, when if the saying goes that there's nothing new under the sun and things repeat, where the fuck do they think that this hasn't already happened before? Electricity, electric cars, all this shit he's talking about, where does he think this didn't happen before? And that the science of it all, that people from South America, indigenous people, didn't have that science behind them. They had it, but then they also had the destruction and had to learn their lessons from different things that they created, to where they went back to nature and they had to put a healing on the earth in order for the earth to be able to survive whatever it was that they had done. These are all repeats. Like, this dude thinks that white people didn't fucking exist up until what, maybe not even 2,000 years ago. White as a race, or what they consider very pale European people, didn't fucking even exist back then. So biblically, there was no such thing as a white Moses. There was, now it does talk about Miriam turning all white from leprosy, and doing that type of thing and turning all white. However, were they really white people? No. It's the same thing with somebody that's got albinism. Can you consider a black person that has albinism as a white person? No. Can you consider somebody that's from Mongolia that has albinism as a white person? No. So this is so fucking retarded from these people. It shows the immaturity of their growth and stuff, and not understanding past lives and different cultures and things like that. It's retarded. Let's continue.
To the jungle, or
If
Hey, bro, the nigga. Hey, bro, the nigga. Oh my goodness, you said you want to go back to the jungle. My goodness, he worse than his son.
the U.S. becomes a minority white country,
yes,
so there's Latinas, there's blacks, there's people from all different races make up the majority, and then, you know, it could be 48% white people. Do you really think the U.S. is doomed if it goes under?
yes, it goes under there.
Seriously.
You know the crazy thing, even if they become a minority, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of the white people are still going to be in power. Like I said, white men make up 30% of the population, but they are 99% of presidents, 90% of senators, 90% of this, 90% of that. Like, so, I mean...
You see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects European culture, or what we learned from Europe.
And oppressed millions of black people
No.
for decades.
How do you oppress? We gave them work. We fed them. They grew from
Look
a
at this
tiny little group
motherfucker.
into a massive group. That's not oppression. That's
And this is what I be talking about with a lot of Christians. I don't want to generalize, I'm sorry, but this is a talking point that Christians, like white Christians, have about black people. We took y'all from the jungles, brought y'all over to America, be grateful. Even though we did unhumane things to y'all for 400 years straight, we brought you out the jungle. This is a talking point. This is why I will never get down with Christianity. This is how this man talks out. You will hear black people talk too. Like, it's crazy, bruh.
Twisting of the
them.
Bible.
Do you understand? You only grow big if you get fed. You only start at 800 and become 50 million if you get fed. We fed them, for crying out loud. You know,
What the fuck? What the fuck? Create an environment where people have to rely on you or rely on a system structure, and then want to gloat and say that you fucking fed people when people were fucking... They were out there getting wild berries and apples and things like that, and hunting for themselves and getting their own fresh water. And now we have these different system structures that were created and that people have to fucking abide by because this is where we're at. In a perfect earth, you'd be able to go out and pick fresh vegetables and fruits right off the fucking trees and shit, and not have to fucking worry about the water you drink and the air you breathe. And this motherfucker wants people to be grateful. Get the fuck out of here.
enough with this nonsense.
But so you understand, because the black population was so oppressed under apartheid,
Well, we never saw this oppression you're talking about.
Duh.
you never saw it.
Duh.
No, I
You're not
never
gonna
saw it.
Yeah, but because you're white.
Right. So as y'all can see, man, he takes after his father. His father might be worse, but I want to stay on his father's neck right fast, okay? Because like I say, we always find a correlation between white supremacists or racists and a child PDF, a child diddler.
In a months-long investigation, we found allegations that Errol Musk, who's the father of Elon Musk, had abused 5 of his children and stepchildren. The Times is not identifying the children, but we're able to show how they fit into the Musk family. Errol Musk has been married to 3 different women. His first marriage was to Mae Musk, who was the mother of Elon Musk. over the years, Elon has been very vocal about saying that he's estranged to his father. And then after they divorced, he briefly remarried a woman named Sue. And then after that, he married Haida Marie Musk.
Damn,
She had
bro.
already had 3 children from a previous relationship, and they had 2 children together. The first allegations against Errol actually surfaced in 1993 in South Africa. His stepdaughter, who was 4 years old, accused Errol Musk of touching her inappropriately. After those allegations were made by the stepdaughter, there was a police investigation opened, but as we understand it from family members and other sources we've talked to, Errol's wife at the time, Haida Marie, decided not to pursue criminal charges. About a decade after those allegations, Elon Musk actually moved the family out to Southern California, where he was living, and what we saw was pretty quickly that whole situation started to unravel. The same stepdaughter that Errol was accused of molesting, she essentially said she caught him sniffing her underwear in her
Oh my
room.
goodness.
The family called the police. A restraining order was issued against Errol Musk. Sources and family members have told us that they told Elon Musk about this, about what his father had
He
done,
did
that
that.
Elon was upset, and that he eventually sent his father back to South Africa.
Okay.
And what we understand is that Elon also tried to keep the rest of the family in Southern California with him, where he wanted to take care of them, to keep them away from Errol. That plan did not work out, and eventually Errol's family, Haida Marie, his children and stepchildren, they all also moved back to South Africa. After the family goes back to South Africa, Haida Marie and Errol, they got a divorce. We get to 2009, and that's when another disturbing allegation pops up. So the same stepdaughter filed a protection order here against Errol Musk, basically alleging that he kissed her inappropriately. And the judge did eventually grant a temporary protection order
Temporary?
against Errol.
Bro, I'm sorry for pausing, but y'all just see this shit. Hey, bro, the system protects these dudes, man.
Yep.
It really does.
Yep.
I mean, the girl been making all these complaints and
Musk to stay away from his stepdaughter. What family members told us is that Errol sort of remained in and out of his stepdaughter's life. A few years later, according to his former stepdaughter, they had 1 child together.
What?
You know, Josh, workers' compensation is such a nightmare to navigate on your own. That's right. Workers' comp.
Wait.
So, people who think that they can get through to people that are MAGA and support Trump, who is a convicted rapist, and now allegations are trying to come out about him being a pedo. These men, they link together. These type of men right here link together, and these Trump supporters are okay with little girls and little boys being raped and molested by their parents or family members or whoever, strangers, even that. And they're okay with that shit. These people are fucking sick in the head. So you think you can reason with people like that? You cannot. You can't reason with them. Anybody that thinks that shit's okay, you can't reason with them. I'm sorry, you just cannot. You cannot. But anyways, my point is where I wanted to get, but we went off on a tangent because of this. I didn't even realize that was part of it. But the thing is that racially, white as a race doesn't exist, and I'm just going to reiterate that. We are all part of a chain of humanity, and even in Egypt, it shows different racial skin tones or whatever in the depictions and hieroglyphs of the people. So, white is not an actual. It's not an actual thing. So, anyways.